walking home from work one night and I met this girl. And after getting to know her a little bit, I found out that she really needed a place to stay. She was in a bad situation where she was living. I told her she could come stay at my apartment until she figured things out. I'd say it was about 2 weeks later that we actually started dating. It was about 8 months after that I knew I was going to marry this girl. At the time, I couldn't afford a nice ring for her. I think I spent maybe like $200 on a ring. So I planned a picnic for us. We went on a little picnic, and we'd always wanted to paint each other pictures. And so we both hid our paintings from each other during the picnic, and when we revealed them, mine said, "Will you marry me?" We got married at the courthouse later that day. Believe it or not, she actually had to call her work and let them know she was going to be 15 minutes late that day because she was getting married. And that evening we left for a little mini vacation honeymoon. We went to New York City for a couple days. We were on our way back to our car on the Staten Island ferry when we were looking back at the city and just thinking, wow, like we should move here someday. That would be crazy. I'd say we were back in Ohio for about less than 3 months, and we decided to pack up and move to the city. We stayed with a family friend in Pennsylvania for about 2 months while we were looking for jobs. I had an interview one day to cook in a restaurant in the West Village, and I was super excited. I told the chef at the end of the interview that if he was going to hire me, that I needed to be paid in cash because I couldn't wait for a paycheck. We needed money that bad. And he said that if I could come back the next morning, he'd pay me for a full day's work. So what I ended up doing was I took the ferry back to my car in Staten Island, and I actually had to sleep in my car that night because I couldn't afford to go back to Pennsylvania and come back to Manhattan the next day. I just didn't have the cash. He paid me cash at the end of that shift, and that's when things really started to turn for better. So after several months of hard work in New York, I realized that cooking just wasn't for me. I kind of got depressed. I didn't really want to live in the city anymore. I was over all the lights and the thrill of living in New York City. Addison was still having fun in the city, but she was okay to leave if that's really what I wanted. So we moved back to Ohio, and that's when I looked into the Air Force. I was at work one day. I remember specifically I was taking a studio photograph, and I got a call from Addison. The rule is if she calls me twice in a row, I know it's important. So after the second time she called me, I called her back, and she told me, she was like, "Hey, I took a pregnancy test. I think I might be pregnant." When we took Lila to Ohio to visit our family for the first time, Addison had found this ring at this jewelry store that she just absolutely loved. And I still hadn't gotten her like a really fancy ring. We couldn't just pay for it right then and there, but we put it on layaway and we decided that we'd make payments. And so we're planning this trip to take Lila to New York City for her very first time. And little does Addison know that I've got this ring. I paid it off, and I'm gonna give it to her there, and she is gonna freak out. It kind of symbolizes like a full circle. Like we're bringing Lila to New York City for the first time, this place that we love, place we used to live, and we're going to one of our favorite spots in the city, and we're all going to be there together as a happy family, financially stable, and I'm going to give her this nice ring that she's wanted for a while now, and it's just going to be amazing.